Everyone welcome to our awards panel session to finish out the conference. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by recognizing all of our award winners for the 2022 year. So unfortunately, Nancy wasn't able to attend today's session, but we are recognizing Nancy Swenson from the University of Central Florida for innovative leadership in distance learning and higher education. And the Florida Distance Learning Association is recognizing today Ashpreet Dayal. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, great. From MPI Preparatory Academy for innovative leadership in distance learning in K through 12. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are recognizing Dr. Ruth Mae Sears from the University of South Florida for her distinguished service. Congratulations, Ruth Mae. We are recognizing Anamir Oriana from Nova Southeastern University for a visionary award for distinguished leadership. Congratulations, Anamir. We are also recognizing Kristen Frazier from MPI Prep Academy as the FDLA Educator of the Year. Congratulations, Kristen.
Thank you.
And finally, we are recognizing Dr. Angie Su from Nova Southeastern University as the FAMT Mathematics Educator of the Year. Congratulations, Dr. Su. Okay, so we're moving on to the section where we're going to ask you all just to share a little bit about your work and your service. So Amy, do you want to just give everyone a reminder about the time for this particular question?
I did not have those notes pulled up. I'm sorry.
Okay, don't worry then. I believe it was 2 to 3 minutes. Does that sound correct?
I think so. Yep, 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. So 2 to 3 minutes. If you could please share a little background about your current position and experience as it relates to distance education, leadership, or service. And Amy, is this where we're going to take off the slide, or should I leave this up? I know we discussed that, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I think we could maybe stop sharing and then make it conversational so we can see everyone. That would be great.
Okay, so let me do that. Okay, so do I have someone that would like to start? Okay, Ruth Mae, then you're the first on my screen. I'm going to ask you to start us off here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruth Mae Sears. I'm an associate professor for mathematics education and also the associate director for the Coalition of Science Literacy at the University of South Florida. And my experience with distance education was really reflecting on ways to support our students, because as we think about not just the academic disruption that resulted from COVID-19, but the everyday life of our students. Because sometimes, think about ways to accommodate and accessibility. Teacher preparation has had challenges with recruitment over the years. In fact, there has been a national decline in mathematics teacher education. So we've explored different ways to try to, reach students, be it offering courses virtually, offers class face-to-face, exploring that space. Additionally, too, I've served in various roles that promoted not just leadership, but also service. So leading, being a program coordinator is a lot of work in and of itself, but service, thinking about service to your community, to your state, and also to your national organization. So at the national level, we're, volunteering just to be an AERA for the reviews, or AMTE, serving on the Research Council previously, or even thinking about our NCTM journal. I serve as an associate editor for the K-12 journal, and Kappa Delta Pi serving as an advisor. But then also too, within our spaces, on also serving as an associate editor for the AAAS blog last year. But at the state level, working as the state coordinator, discipline coordinator for math education and science and math education. So I get to review all the new courses that are being proposed for math and STEM, as to where our field is going. And, like I said, but at the same time, I've really been making human connections to your space. So I serve as a board member of Ronald McDonald House Charities of Tampa Bay, and also the board member of the PACE Foundation in the Bahamas, where we serve to build a school for teen mothers. At the university level, serving as the faculty policy council. I'm in charge of the faculty success committee or the constitution committee, but really intentionally, or I'm also on the sabbatical committee, and also I'm a faculty senator. So in this regard, you realize I serve in many roles to advance not just math education, but the field of education. And I think my life has definitely evolved since, there was early in 2020, I'm mistaken, or 2021, I think it's 2020, when it was proposed originally that they were going to close our undergraduate program. And I had to lead our Reimagining the College of Education efforts as a co-chair. And so I'm proud to say that we're not only we've kept our undergraduate program, but we've moved forward. And I think this goes back to your ability to highlight the importance of education, but your commitment to your why you do what you do. And I think as educators, being grounded in your space, but being committed to your students and really keeping the center to student success, you'll be amazed to know how you can make change happen in a positive way. So that's an introduction of myself.
Thank you, Ruth May, for your commitment to education and for sharing that. Let's go to Annamir next. Love your hair, Annamir.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, I went blonde. Might go back.
It's nice.
Well, thanks, Jia. I'm so excited and honored after Ruth May introduction. It's an honor. I'll be brief. And in my position as a professor in the field of instructional technology and distance education, that's my actual background in my doctorate, my concentration area. So I've been involved in distance education since, I started my program as a student years ago. And I've been moving in that direction ever since, and with more intensity, of course, as a professor in the field. So my involvement is, what is expected of a professor in their job description, if you will, is to be presenting in conferences, publishing, editing books. I'm also an editor of journals. I review the journals in the field. I'm also part of the association, and I've worked with the associations, or through the associations, specifically the Online Learning Consortium back in when it was the Sloan Consortium. I remember this involvement that I had with Dr. Kay Shelton. We had a group of international peers from Mexico, Ecuador, even Spain, working in adapting the scorecard, which is a famous scorecard that is used for the quality of programs. So my involvement with ensuring quality in the programs, online education, I started as a student, I continued as a professor, and internationally, I've been involved with these groups of people. So I think I've been, if you ask me my background and how my experience relates to distance education, is by being a professor, researcher, practitioner, and also a service through the organizations in distance education. So specifically, I could, my CV speaks for itself, but overall, that's my experience, how I'm involved in distance education as a student, professor, practitioner, and researcher, and service. So as expected for a professor, so I'm very excited that I'm not only able to study and practice, I'm also researching and implementing and teaching it. So it's a wonderful journey in exciting times. So that's my background.
Annamir, thank you for sharing. Thank you for your contributions. Let's go to Angie next.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Angie Sue, and after all these people, Dr. Sears and Dr. Orville, I call her Annamir. I can never pronounce her last name. is a very tough act to follow here. I've been the past president for FDOA for for the past 10 years. And the current president for FEMT, and my current job is actually professor of mathematics education at Nova Southeastern University. Well, I tend to get my hands into so many things. I'm currently involved with a STEM project, and it's going very well at a high school, trying to get minority girls into the STEM field. Hopefully we get to move forward with the next level and so on. So that's my other aspiration in my next stage of research. Before that, I was involved with children with special needs, getting them interested into mathematics education. So in addition to all that, I'm also journal editor for 2 of the major journals, and we have great readership in these 2 journals. So if you wanted to publish in mathematics education or in distance learning, reach out to me. And I'm very interested in what Dr. Sean shared this morning with the open access education journal. So I'll be attending his conference, the non-conference in March 9th and 10th. I already registered. I'm so excited about the opportunity. That's it. I take up too much time already.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you for sharing and for your contributions. Let's move on to Kristen next.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate the award. So I am currently the interim dean at My Life, My Power Preparatory Academy, the Oakland Park campus, and I teach grades 6 through grade 12 on an online platform at Apex Learning. We also have various meetings throughout the day with students who are working hybrid or fully online, and then we have in person as well. So the last 2.5, almost 3 years, I've been working on engaging with students who may want to explore the classroom outside of the traditional form, and that's through Apex and other means that, you know, with our in-person and online students. I've been working with these wonderful grade 6 through grade 12 students, trying to figure out their process and how they engage in the learning, with the learning process, and advocating for various supports or needs that they may have. So that's I've been working with actually Miss Dial and Dr. Manberg, and then Ms. Kramer, and working to figure out different ways, innovative ways of engaging students who may not have had a enjoyable educational experience before coming to us.
Thank you for sharing, Kristen, for making an impact on students. And let's move to Ashpreet.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. So I am currently the director of online campus for MLNPI Preparatory Academy. Ms. Kristen and I, we've been working together last year before the school year started. Our main focus was on how we could engage the students who go to the school in person, students who are following the hybrid model, and the students who were just, online students. So our goal was to come up with some content which is not just related to, just academics, not just related to like in the core classes, right? English, mathematics, social studies, science, but like something else that would really help them once they get out of school. So we focused a lot on vocational content, on how they could, learn, how they could look for jobs, how they could fix their resumes, etc. So we worked pretty close, and we worked pretty hard on, coming up with content that could be used not only with students who were going to school in person, but also, how to convert it to something that could be also used by students who were fully online. So for the online campus, we actually started off with just 30 students. I was all by myself when we started this online campus, and now we have approximately 250 something students who are fully online. And now I have like 2 other team members who've been really, helpful in this process. So this is my background. I started off as a teacher assistant, and now, I moved my way up to being the director of the online campus. But so it's been a very nice learning experience. I've learned a lot from it too, just trying to figure out how to engage all the students, and how to build connection with all the students just through a computer screen. So it's been a learning process, and we've had a lot of successes so far too. And I'm looking forward to learning more and getting more successful outcomes out of this.
Thank you for sharing. That's important work that you're
Thank
doing.
you. Thank you.
Okay, so I believe that's everybody for the first question. Let's move on to the second one. And the second question is, can you share some highlights of a project or a program that you're currently involved with, along with something that's been effective in its implementation? Is there anybody that wants to go first? Angie, there you go.
And you laugh, you get first.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm like I said, I'd like to get into almost everything. Everything excites me. So early on in my career, I actually created a program called Project Mind. Math is not difficult. And I am happy to share that this program is actually all over the world, being used by many countries, children in many countries, and is making big impact. So I'm very proud of that project. And it actually becomes a K-12, and then later on K-22. A lot of teachers are using it in their classrooms as well. My current research project is to try to get as many minority girls, female girls, into the STEM area, into the STEM field. And we're trying to infuse arts, using arts as a tool to help these girls, to help inspire them into the STEM field. And we're doing a great job. We just submitted a proposal, and hopefully we get funded, and it will continue to carry us with this endeavor. And of course, my partner in crime is Dr. Borror here. We had a lot of fun implementing the project. So my pet peeve is actually, you have to do the work, impacting lots of people, and at the same time have lots of fun. And that's why I continue to do what I do. I enjoyed, having fun doing the work that I do.
And thank you for your work, Dr. Sue.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Let's go in reverse order this time. Ashpreet, if you don't mind sharing a project or a program that you're currently involved with.
Sure. So currently I'm involved with the General Readiness Advanced Diploma program that MLMPI offers, not only to students who are under the age of 18, but also candidates who did not, get an opportunity to get a diploma. So we've had, 40-year-olds, we've had like 30-year-olds come to, enroll themselves to this program to get a diploma. And it's been a success so far. We also recently partnered up with a US Army and also Southeastern High School. So we've been getting a lot of candidates from there too. Last quarter, we had almost 33 students just from MLMPI Prep Academy enrolled to this program. And we have like almost 13 to 15 candidates from US Army and Southeastern High School. This program is, just assigned to support students or adults to complete their high school equivalency diploma. So we offer tutoring services. We give them all the content they need to prepare. We give them practice tests, flashcards, everything. so they could prepare for the test. And if they need tutoring assistance, we offer that too. And it's been very rewarding because we've had a lot of candidates, who they've come from other countries, and they unfortunately their transcripts from the other countries, they were not able to use that here to get maybe to get a job. So it's been very rewarding so far. Ms. Kristen has been working with me on this too. It's been a success, and it's been very rewarding because we're actually helping out not just students, but also adults who need just that diploma that's stopping them to actually succeed in their careers. So it's been pretty rewarding, and it's been pretty successful so far.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's see. Kristen, would you go next, please? Share a project or a program that you're currently involved with.
So a project that I'm currently working on have been, since I started here at MLMPI, has been working with teen moms. So some students who come to us are pregnant and in need of some support. So I've been able to work with them on the academic level, figure out if they want to be in person, hybrid, or online, and then what that looks like once baby arrives, and then connecting them with community services that are out there. So previous to working here, I used to do some work with Healthy Start, and so I've been able to connect them and provide that mentorship. So that's been a real highlight of being able to work here at MLMPI and work with the young ladies on a daily basis.
That's great. That's very important work, and I'm sure that the young women are thankful to have that assistance. Okay, let's go to Anna Mir.
Thanks, Gia. I keep nodding, hearing these wonderful projects and women recognized. Again, I am so thrilled and honored. Well, currently, I would say the most recent work, the recent work that I'm involved is related to when I started learning about universal design for learning and how to design the courses and more accessible and inclusive, right, for all, not just for those who request accommodations. And in that journey, because I'm in the field of instructional media, instructional design, instructional technology, online, in producing media, so you start thinking on the accessibility of the videos, the media that you produce, and so forth. And I submitted a grant proposal, a small grant, if you will, to understand or explore a bit more about how the captions, the automated captions that we all have in Zoom, and the fact they're automated in real time, in live, how do they, if any, how do they affect the learning when used for the presentations, right? We want to make our videos accessible, and we have recorded videos, and we have the opportunity to edit the captions, and the student has the opportunity to pause and have a better experience, if you will. But when it's live and we are now exposed to these tools that have the automated captions, and students request it, and we facilitate it, even in our conference, right? We have those automated captions. How effective are they, and how can we best use them, if any, for the learning experience in a live session, in our lectures that we do via Zoom, for example? So I became interested in that, and how can that affect the cognitive process, if you will? Are students really learning if they're reading, viewing your face, watching the PowerPoint, and on top of that, reading the captions, and in addition to the same language transcripts, what about our students that, if we want to be inclusive of the non-English speakers, or the ones that don't speak the language of the presenter? The translations are available already. So there's this subtitling happening, and if the captions are not accurate, well, what about the translation? It's probably even worse. So is that going to interfere with their learning experience, or is that going to help them? On the contrary, right? So I began to get interested in that project, and I started first with the experience and the perceptions of the faculty of the tool. And then I moved on with a group of peers. We're working on now the perceptions of the students, their experience with it. So I've been in that, it's a small tile research agenda, right, towards the accessible and inclusive learning environments. within the bigger framework of belonging, equity, inclusion, and all that. So it's a small project towards a bigger research agenda, hopefully. And that's what I've been in the past 2 years been involved with. And of course, it follows through. Now I'm interested in artificial intelligence, which is, automated captions and translations and subtitling are powered by artificial intelligence technology. So it's all part of this, how we're using these technologies and how to best integrate it for successful learning experiences. So that's my itty-bitty work the past couple of years that I've been involved with, aside from other stuff, but that's the most relevant one, I would say. Yeah.
Thank you for your innovative work, Amir, and for sharing with us. Let's move on to Ruth May.
I'm actually I look at it from three initiatives I'm working on currently. The first is the one for the faculty development itself. The second one is relative to programmatic development, and the third is relative to K-12 environment. So I'm actually involved in the University of Michigan Geometry Reasoning and Proof group, so we call it GRIP. And as faculty, we actually have an online learning community where we reflected on revising the curriculum standards for geometry for particular pre-service teachers. And we wrote perceived standards for student learning outcomes. So that's SLOs. Additionally, too, we also engage in exploring the Andikura symbols, like thinking about students' conceptualization of mutuality, but also connecting it to culture. And it got my attention relative to the importance of mathematical communication and developing reason and proof, but also how faculty reflect on what is important and what needs to be amplified. And also, how do we repurpose our efforts to really strengthen the pool of geometry teachers across the United States? The next one is examining technology and motivation in developmental mathematics courses. I've coordinated the developmental math course for the university for the past 10 years. And every section, I actually have students do at least 2 surveys per class where they not only describe their understanding and perspective of their experience of learning with technology, but also their motivation to participate in a class with technology being used. In recent times, the intermediate algebra class primarily is taught online. So only in recent time, we have 1 or 2 of the classes face-to-face, but the majority of the sessions are online. And so really thinking about to what extent are there motivation, but also I want to probably explore analyzing differences in their thoughts relative to the ones who are online in comparison to the ones who are face-to-face. And the last one I want to highlight is this collaboration with our community partner, Prep and Me, where we're going to be working to provide math enrichment activities for minoritized gifted students who are in grades 8 through 12, and thinking about how do we challenge them and develop their reasoning and perhaps also influence their decision to pursue math by strengthening their math identities. So there are 3 projects I'm actively engaged in, but one is really for faculty development. The other one is for programmatic development. And the third is really strengthening our community partners to strengthen the pipelines from going to high school, going to college. So I see as a microcosm of our community, but connecting in different pathways.
Sounds like you stay very busy with all of your work. Thank you for sharing those projects with us.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe everybody answered the second question, correct? Let's make sure I'm not leaving anybody out. Okay, we're moving on to our final question. And that is, what is your greatest success and challenge at this point in time? And you do have 2 to 3 minutes for your response. Do I have a volunteer that would like to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. I think yeah, and it's just like after hearing everybody again, oh my God, now what do I say to I'm not competing, but you women are wonderful. I'm going to be brief on this one. Is you can share, we have academic successes and professional successes, but I'd like to specifically or particularly say that I feel successful when my peers recognize my work. And this is an example. I mean, this is a nomination that my dear colleague, she took time to nominate you. So you do work, you do all this hard work, but it's so rewarding to have somebody actually take time to nominate you. So I've been successful that's a success in my personal view, where I've been recognized as professor of the year at the college level and professor of the year at the departmental level. And then this recognition at FDLA, it happens because I think the work that you do, people notice the work, and it takes time to nominate you. It's a peer process, right? But I think that people see it, I believe that at least, is that when you're congruent in you're aligned in what you think and what you value, what you do, walk the talk, right? Walk the talk. And I think people notice that. So for me, it's a success that my peers and my students as well recognize the work that I do, right? And at the same token, at the challenge for me is like, okay, I have this knowledge, I have the recognition, my publications. What do I do with it? And it's live up to that, maybe become a change agent, which is hard in my case, because I'm not I just do stuff. I don't, it's to get people to do what I do or what I would like them to do. I think it's by example. So I set those expectations and wanting to change myself and affect change, and hopefully people realize it. But if you want to do this big change, you actually have to plan for it. So thanks, Amy. So for me, the challenge is to make it in a larger scale, which I know some of you or all of you have done that. But in my case, that would be the challenge for this year. So thanks for the recognition.
Thank you for sharing, Anna Maria. Let's move on to Ashpreet.
So for me, my greatest successes have been just coming up with content that's very engaging, not only for students who are going to school in person, but also students who are fully online. It's been a challenge, with the just constant pressure of finding the same activities that fall in that just finding activities that fall under the same category, because obviously when you work with students in person, it's like it's different, like it's everything is so easy. You could you could engage them, like it's easier compared to when you actually sit down with students just over a computer screen, and you have to make them engage and be productive and be more resourceful. So it's just the challenge has been this constant pressure of coming up with activities that fall in the same category as what the students are in school working on, and just trying to make the virtual students work on that too. So that's one of the challenges, but we've been doing good so far. Like I said, last year we did come up with a lot of different lesson plans. We have this whole booklet of lesson plans. Miss Kristen helped me with that, and so it's been rewarding, and we're also growing. Like we have more virtual students join the online campus, so I feel like we're doing something good because it clearly is working, and our numbers are just growing. So and I feel very it's like I said before, it's just very rewarding, just trying to help someone, not just academically, but in other areas of their lives too. Just just being there for someone, just being there for the students. They come from very different backgrounds. It's not been too easy for a lot of our students, but just lending them an ear, just letting them know that, hey, I know you're my student and I'm a teacher, but I'm here if you ever need to come and share something. Another challenge I would say would be just building rapport with the student, like over a computer screen, just building that trust, because a lot of students, they haven't met us ever in person. So just trying to gain their confidence, and just letting them know we're here, like we're not like we're not someone who's you didn't bash you for if you do not do well. Just being there for them. So yeah, thank you. That's all.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank
Angie,
you.
go next.
Oh, I guess my greatest success is also my greatest challenge. I get excited about everything I do, and I love to connect people with the right skills to the right situations, and networking for them and networking with them. And then I got myself all into it also, and getting into so many projects. But I think that everything that I decide to do becomes something I'm proud of, that I feel that I did make an impact. So I guess that would be something that I have to learn how to do, is by stepping back on things so that I'm not so excited about everything I do. I'm still excited about everything I do. I mean, if somebody will tell me something and I say, oh, that sounds very interesting. Let's do it. Let's move forward with it. So, you know, listening to you guys, I was involved also with the homeless, you know, getting the homeless into back to the society, and using various programs to inspire them to move out of the situation and so on. You know, that was another project that I was into. And so that's it. I mean, I hope one day that I know how to step back and just look at other people doing some of the work that I'm really into, and bring it to other levels.
Thank you for sharing. And Ruth May, tell us about your greatest success and challenge.
I guess I'm always about centering it on student success. So I think a success is humanizing the narrative, because as my research focuses on curriculum and math curriculum and curriculum issues, when I tell people I teach people mathematics rather than I teach mathematics, putting the word people help people to realize you have to think about the complexity of human needs. You have to consider the inequities that exist, the implications of policies and justice that can impact learning outcomes. And so just adding that statement, I teach people mathematics, it allowed me a platform to really think about justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, and how historical underpinnings can create opportunities or potentially limit opportunities of learning. And as we think about that, it also creates conversation as to how we really analyze and interpret potential gaps in performance scores. And so just adding that people in mathematics conversation provide an opportunity to humanize it. And from that perspective, learning to teach people mathematics, creating a collection of effective teachers that every time I see my students, I celebrate, because I know they will be charged with impacting many lives. And due to the teacher shortage, the fact I am a teacher educator, I think that is my success, that I'm building educators who can be responsive and support students' learning. Now, as it relates to a challenge, I take it from the level of figuring out ways for us to continuously strengthen the pipeline to recruit people to the profession, and to also examine why they're not staying in the profession. And so to me, as an educator who's committed to developing an effective workforce, because I don't want just bodies in a building, but I want people who care, who's inspired, who's able to enact good best practices and facilitate mathematical reasoning. And so even thinking about how do we address this gap in teacher shortage, but also acknowledging that 70% of perhaps middle school teachers are not even qualified in mathematics or math education, but they're just certified by the state. How can we work to develop programs to support those teachers to appreciate mathematical reasoning, developing their math knowledge for teaching so they can be effective? So it's not where they started, but where they're going, and creating a culture that we're committed to student excellence. And so I think that is my challenge, always thinking about what could I do next to strengthen that community to provide all students an opportunity to learn and succeed.
Thank you, very thought-provoking. And let's move on to Kristen, a success and a challenge.
So I guess mine is also a one and the same, a success and a challenge. For me every day is when I guess my success is when I see my students being successful, and when they find me as not only their teacher, but as a safe space, someone who is invested in their academic success, but also their their life success, you know. So I have students who've graduated and call me for support, either applying to college or just want someone, a safe ear to talk to. So that's a huge success for me when I'm able to make that connection with my students. Meeting them where they're at is extremely important to me, and building that relationship and that rapport, figuring out what their academic, social, emotional, and personal needs and wants are. What are their personal goals? And that's also in some ways the challenge for me, because I can't reach every student that comes through my door or I meet online as much as I would like to. And so figuring out how to engage and then connect them with people who may be able to support them better than me. So that's been in my big challenge.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. I believe that is everyone. So that concludes our awards session. I'm going to turn it over to Vicky to say some parting words. I hope you enjoyed the conference, and thank you for being here. And again, congratulations to all of our award winners.
I just want to say congratulations, and let's clap and celebrate your successes. I don't think we do that often enough, and it's wonderful that we were able to do that here and to share that you were able to share those successes with all of us. Thank you for coming and being a part of this conference. We are glad that you had, hopefully you've had a great experience, and we're looking forward to planning our next one.
Thank you. This is a great conference.
Thank you for sharing.
Intimate conference, intimate with peers in a very close level.
I was wondering if that's just because we're getting more comfortable with Zoom and sharing, because I remember the first time we did the virtual conference, it seemed like people were not willing to speak up, and this time it was amazing. People were jumping in and talking with our presenters, and
a good research question, no?
Yeah, it's a very good research question, how to get that to occur. And but I felt it from the very beginning at this conference, and I feel like I know many of you so much more. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Okay, I think that's
Victoria. Thank you, Jia. You did a great job bringing up everything that these awardees had to share. I really enjoyed listening to them, and I learned a lot from them.
great. Thank you. Well, everyone have a great weekend. Anybody else have any final parting words?
I have a few parting words. You know, I know this conference was a lot of work. Putting a conference together is a lot of work in itself. So I just wanted to thank the board, thank Dr. Brown for just doing a wonderful job. It takes a lot of time, you know, effort. I know you have many other things to do, but we've done it. And afterwards, we're going to get back to life. But, you know, especially Dr. Brown, I know the big haul you pulled behind the scenes. So hats off to you, and just thank you all for being here.
And Charnette knows what's coming down the stream. She'll be our conference chair for our next conference.
I am not sure if I'm aware of exactly what's coming, but I know with all your support, it will be worthwhile.
Yes. You won't be by yourself. There's a great committee of people who work together to bring this conference. It's not a single person. I would have to say it's a lot of people working together. And have a passion for FDLA. I think that's the other thing that I find very rewarding, that these people are interested in this organization and what we can do, and can see the powerhouse that we can actually become here in Florida.
Well, thanks to everyone for making this happen. This was great. Another fun FDLA FAMTE conference. Yep, a success.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good to see
Have
you.
a great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Is this the last session?
It was the last one.
Right,
You
have a
can
great
do something
weekend.
else now.
Congratulations,
weekend.
Anamir.
Thanks. Tough
Our research
stuff
is
in
very
1 minute.
similar. Our
Yeah.
research is way back in the day. I used Dr. Kay Shelton's
Remember her? Her
dissertation
work?
for
Well, maybe
mine.
we could stop the recording. Yes, I started. I got involved with her work, and as a friend.